What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you are listening to another action-packed episode of Liquid Kernedge.
The only podcast out there that has you and me both on it at the same time.
Exactly. And that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be.
I won't do another podcast without you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
It's like Backdraft. You go, I go.
Although I want to do a shout out to Sky Nelson. She had one of our more popular podcasts
She
a few
did,
weeks
man.
ago. Did
People
a
are still
great
talking about
job.
it.
She was on point. She did everything great. We had a great listening following out there. So just a shout out to our guests, because sometimes we have some really good guests.
We do. And I want to give a shout out to her sister, Rory, who's coming on the show very soon here. I told Rory as soon as she has an episode or a topic she wants to talk about, we'll get her on the show, because Rory is essentially our social media manager. This girl puts it out there, and when she puts it out there that we have a new episode, our listenership spikes.
Well, I'd like to say this too. We would love to have guests on our show. If you have
Absolutely.
a topic that you want to talk about, if you have something that you really want to spend some time and go over and structured conversation, have some fun with us, we'd love to have you. So
Everything
just
is
send us
fair
something on
game.
Twitter, send us something on Facebook, send us a message. We'd love to have you. We'll have you on the show anytime you want.
Unless you don't want to, because then we'll consider that a personal insult and that you've broken up with us.
My girlfriend definitely will never, ever be on our show. She's
She
told me
won't.
flat out many times that she will never be on the show.
And that's not a bad thing.
Whoa.
It's
dude.
not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Do I have to edit this part?
You don't have to edit this part out. It's not a bad thing. If Noreen doesn't want to be a part of this, that's fine.
Hey, you know what? Actions like that, we might break up, buddy.
Dude, we don't need to break up. You know what? You know who I thought we broke up with? Our intern. Our intern is back here tonight with us.
Oh, Pemberton, you made it back.
He is coming back. He's actually in the fridge right now. Check the other fridge in the garage.
We've learned, though, through some of our previous podcasts that it's not a good idea to drink and podcast at the same time.
No, we'd like to apologize for some of our earlier podcasts.
I know that
you can figure out
our
which
buddies
one.
at Cartoon Casual do it with great performance, and they do a great job. But
Yeah,
we cannot. I can't do it.
They definitely play through it a whole lot better than we do. So I'll give props to Joe
props
and
to
Paul,
them.
man.
Props
Those
to Joe.
guys are
Yeah,
great.
those guys are good. If you have a chance to listen to Cartoon Casual, check them out, man. They're a lot of fun.
So I want to go back to what you said earlier. We might break up. We've talked a lot about the happy things and maybe
I was just teasing,
some of the
though.
challenges of relationships. And Jason, I want you to sit down because we have to talk.
Oh God.
Some of the scariest phrases I've ever heard in the English language. Sit down, we have to talk.
Ugh.
Right?
Hey, at least you get that. I've been broken up where the girl just never talked to me again.
Yeah, I've had those too.
Baby, we've been together. We've been together 3 years.
Yeah, I've had those too, and it's not the worst deal in the world in some cases, but in other times it's not the best. You know, I thought today it'd be a great opportunity to talk about breakups, and that's why I'm glad that our intern JP came back here today. So because I know he has some insights on things he's done and what he's been broken up with.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let's start with the open question. So, why do you think people break up?
Because it's not working. Do you
not
want
working.
me to use my line, or do you want me to give the honest truth?
No, I mean I think our listeners deserve the truth.
In that case, I'll use my line. It's not me, it's you.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
On a serious note,
on a serious note.
when relationships happen all the time.
They do,
and they break up all the time.
And things go really well until they don't. And sometimes you have a breakup for something very minimal, and other times you have something that's a game changer. You know,
well, we talked about relationship deal breakers in a previous episode.
We have,
and some of those are pretty big. Like that's a reason why to break up.
And as time goes on, breakups become harder and harder to do because you build a relationship, you build a life with that person. I mean, I will openly say I never like to see a marriage end. I never like to see an engagement end. If you're dating, hey man, it just means you're fair game again. I don't want to be crass about it, but let's be honest. You know, that's why you date to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Bottom line.
Hey,
and if it doesn't work, hey man, you had a good run.
If you
enjoyed
dated and married for 35 years and then you found someone else, then
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Then hey, that just happens, man. That just happens.
That's a midlife crisis. Your now ex-wife's going to take the Corvette you had to buy two before you got divorced.
Yeah, no kidding. Right.
But breakups happen for a lot of random reasons. But there are 7 stages of breakups.
The 7 what do you call those? The stages. 7 stages of breakups. So I thought that it'd be a good idea for those of you who have either broken someone's heart and broke up with them, or have been broken this is the podcast for you, because we are going to help to give you a path to get through the 7 stages and start seeing people again.
Or at least talk you through our experiences so you don't feel like you're going through this alone, because we've all been through these, at least at some point and stage of the others, of these stages of breakups.
Okay.
What is stage 1?
Stage 1 is shock. Basically, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. It is always a shock when a man breaks up with a woman. I'll be honest, because we don't think things through all the way. We don't. Women, when a woman breaks up with you, she's done. She's had her thought. She's thought about it. She's justified it. She's on her way out. She's done. When a guy does it, he's doing it because he's just not. We're guys. We don't know what's going on. We're tired of it.
So the shock. Are we talking about the shock to the person that just got broken up with? Right.
Yes.
Okay. So the shock of the person who just got broken up with. Jason, I no longer want to be with you.
Hey, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and it's just not working out between us. You get those lines like, fuck, man. And then you have to sit down. You have to take one of those hard line looks inside yourself saying, what do we do next? I'm like, well, can I fix it? What can I do?
Okay.
And that's hard. That's hard to deal with.
I would say that's pretty tough, because it's like anything else. If you've seen people who they've had an injury and they've gone into shock, they don't remember what happened, or their pain is not there.
Yeah.
It's like a defense mechanism. The body is stopping the pain.
And it's funny.
So you're in shock of, what am I listening to? This can't be happening.
Yeah. It's like when you break a bone, you break an arm, and you realize that, oh God, it's really broken. My arm's hanging down there. It's not bad until you see it. It's not bad until you see your arm dangling down.
You don't take stock that it's breaking up until you get through the shock of, wait a minute, I'm being broken up. You're breaking up with me?
Yeah, exactly.
You're breaking up with me?
You're not breaking up with me. I'm breaking up with you. Oh, what? I can't do that? Oh, that sucks. Oh, shit.
Well, and the thing about shock is everyone's shock is different, right?
Yeah.
Some people shock lasts 3 minutes. Some people shock last a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like totally shocked.
We all deal with it differently too. And I will openly admit, through all 7 stages of grief, I cope by drinking. Not the best mechanism, but that'll be my answer for everything through tonight's episode. Is before I had a civil adult answer, I drank.
Yeah. Well, and I think for me, when you're shocked, you're in a sense of, I don't want to say blurriness, but you're kind of disoriented. Like, what is happening here? Like,
I agree.
My world is going in one direction, and all of a sudden now I'm feeling like, I don't know
what's going on, what's happening. There's rage, there's sadness, there's fear. There's a lot of things going on right there, and that's scary.
Okay. What the hell happened? So the first stage is shock. You can't believe this is happening.
Exactly. JP, since you're here, do you have anything you want to add to this? Are you like, when you've broken up with somebody or been broken up with, where has that stage of shock been with you?
In the beginning, it's like you said, it's just like, holy crap, this is happening. And then on the other foot, you're just like, man, your turn to deal with it. I'm breaking up with you, so you're in shock now. So I think that's the way.
All right.
That's a good way to put it,
So they say that what you should do is calm yourself through some meditation or some long walks.
Yeah. Listen, let's be honest. When is the last time you said, hey, this just happened, I need to meditate for a few minutes to come to peace with this?
Well, they say do not freak out.
Yeah.
Like, don't break things over her face. When in shock.
Don't cause domestic violence.
Right, exactly.
You mean don't run him over with your car?
Yeah.
Or attempt to twice. Yeah.
Fun fact is, JP was his ex attempted to hit him with a car. That's how he saved his dog Evie.
See, she didn't follow the stay calm and walk. She revved the engine.
Put your foot on the gas and drive like
exactly. But he tucked and rolled with a Chihuahua in his hands over the hood of a Ford Focus and saved that dog, who is annoying as fuck, but is still alive today to tell the story.
So the second phase of a breakup is the denial.
Oh my God.
This is not happening. This is not happening.
I can fix this. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I can fix this.
So what just happened turned into this is not happening. And in reality, the hard part is when you don't think it's happening, the first thing that happens is you put a wall or some protection over your emotions, right? because you can't imagine this is really happening, but you instantly shut down your emotions.
Oh, absolutely.
One as a protection, right? One as a protection, but then two, and worse, it's almost like I don't want to let go of these feelings because maybe it's not happening, and I want to have those saved so when I can open my heart back up.
I'm gonna be real with you right here. I still have that issue right now, 2 years later, since my last major breakup. I can't. I won't. It's like you need to talk to a professional about it. To be honest with you.
Well,
and that happens. That happens.
And maybe the problem is that these 7 stages are a cycle.
They are.
If
oh my
you don't
god.
do one well, then you move to the next one, and it doesn't fix the first one.
And it's like you know how you had to go back and like get like 3 stars in every level, like Angry Birds, to get to the next like hard level. It's the same principle. You have to get 3 stars. You have to achieve self-actualization on every level of the breakup to be able to move on fully to the next one. And most people don't do that these days.
And I have to think the denial phase is probably when a lot of these people do the stalking.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Like, hey babe, I know that you want to see me, so let's see each
like,
other.
I know we broke up.
No.
We didn't really break up, but we could talk about this, right? We
Exactly.
can fix this.
So the denial phase has this coupled, this can't be happening, and because it's not happening, I'm gonna come over to your house like I normally do.
Like we could talk about this.
I'm gonna write you emails and send you flowers like I normally do.
I know you're gonna notice me. You're gonna see that I'm hurting, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna get this fixed, and it's gonna be all right. No, man, you can't do that.
Which then leads you to know that, let's be honest, if they've already cut you, sending them flowers is not going to save things, right? It's not going to fix the problem.
It's not going to help anything.
Okay. So you want to hear what they say to do?
Yes. What should you do?
Open up a journal or trusted friend
For
to
God's
begin
sakes.
unleashing fears,
What?
identifying unreasonable thoughts, and more.
Where did you get this list from?
Is this
Hey,
on Cosmo?
This is the more important.
Is this from the dark web?
Hey, this is real.
Is this real?
Do not minimize the situation.
for
Pretending your
God's
breakup
sakes.
doesn't have to be dealt with will lead to an emotional numbness and leave you stuck.
Being comfortably numb.
Maybe we have someone in the room that they did the do not on denial, maybe.
Being comfortably numb might be the way to go. I drank and I coped because when I got drunk, I talked about everything.
You know what,
and
Scott?
those
I feel-
bartenders at Chili's heard everything.
Me too.
God
me
bless
too.
them, and JP. They heard everything.
So I think that maybe this is becoming more than just entertainment. This is
Cathartic.
cathartic.
It's very
For our
cathartic.
buddy Scott.
Not just me. Don't just put this on me.
Well, it'll be easier because,
wait. I'm the one taking one for the team in this episode.
Hey, you didn't open your journal.
You didn't take your walk.
You didn't take your walk.
I didn't take my walk.
You minimized the situation.
I will.
That's what you did.
I will openly say though. And it's not a journal, but since every phone you have now has a notepad on it, whenever I've gone through breakups since I've had these phones, not that I go through a lot, I would write down my feelings. Like I type out my feelings to get everything out, and I would feel better after I got them out and I would never go back and read them because that would be counterproductive. I would get everything out of my system. What I felt, what hurt me, what I don't understand, and I would save it and I'd throw it away. Like I'd close out the app.
I think it's important at this moment to also say this. We're joking about it, but this is kind of serious. I mean, this doesn't have to be a breakup. This can also be a rejection.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that have friends that are of the opposite sex where they want something more, and the person they weren't dating them, but they just reject them.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is not just for the people who's had a breakup.
Absolutely.
This is for I like someone, they don't like me. I mean, it's a shock of why don't you like me?
Yeah.
This can't be happening.
What happened between
I'm
us?
so good to you. Why are
What
you
happened?
treating me
Absolutely.
like this?
Absolutely.
So, anyways, I just want to put that out. Stage
Stage
three.
3.
Isolation.
Oh.
I just want to sit in this all by myself.
That is, they talked about that on Friends. Chandler went through that, where you just want to sit and watch TV in your underwear. How did that go? JP, you're the Friends expert on the show. When he broke up with the girl that got him the Velveteen Rabbit book, what did he do before he could picture himself seeing other women naked? Like, he went through that whole phase, like, in his underwear watching TV, right? In his chair.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've seen that episode.
I think
through the whole thing.
But you don't want to be around anybody. You
Right.
don't. That's the bottom line.
and I think the worst part about it is in my mind, when I didn't want to be around anyone, what did I do all?
You drank.
You ate ice cream.
I looked at the relationship
You
and
analyzed.
analyzed every single thing, and got pissed and then got sad and then got happy because, when you sit by yourself and do that and you reclude from everyone else,
It's a problem.
then one, you're looking at all the problems through your own filters, right?
Absolutely.
But two, you're surrounding yourself with things that are painful and making it worse for you, and that's never good.
No,
It's not good.
And you have to get away from that stuff. You have to have a fine, clean break away from all that to get your head right, you know?
And and that's the problem too, is everyone handles the loneliness different.
Yeah.
Like some people handle loneliness by they play video games
Yeah.
through it. Hey, at least I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Some people handle the loneliness of, I'm gonna make myself better by studying, reading. Some people sit in the dark with the lights off, with nothing but the revolver and the liquor, and just think about things.
And other people go by the adage, to get over someone old, you get under someone new. let's put that out there.
But that's no isolation.
That is
What was that?
There's no
that
isolation
old
there.
adage.
We're going to go over the 7 steps. These are the 7 steps.
that would
okay?
be part of isolation. Once you get under someone new, it is not isolation anymore.
Right.
But that is how you come to that level of acceptance.
The other thing I worry about too with isolation is when you're by yourself and you're looking at all these things, it's easy probably to look at these things and say, I caused that.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
The I speak.
I'm the reason why she didn't want to or he didn't want to be with me. I did this. That was stupid, dumb.
Yeah, when-
So then you start, not only do you start thinking about all these things that you could have done differently, but then you start looking at yourself as what a loser I am because I can't keep someone
Then
happy.
the problem turns into is like, I've realized this about myself, so I can tell them that I've learned this about myself, so I can go back and fix this because I'm going to tell them that I fixed this about myself. I understand it, and if I can fix that, they'll understand that I've changed and they'll want me back. And you circle back to the beginning almost if you try to do that.
Okay, so this is what you need to do.
Oh no.
No.
Take regular showers and create reasons to face the day.
Whoa. I swear to God, where are you finding this list?
Right? I'm
Like,
afraid to ask.
did you screen this with our executive producer Tom? Like, if I text him right now and say, "Hey, did you give him an episode of, or a magazine of Cosmo?"
Hey, but the do not indulge in self-pity by letting irrational thoughts like no one will ever love me again take over. So, hey, words of pearls of wisdom, buddy. Don't even knock them.
Suddenly, I feel like this episode's turned into like a giant episode of intervention.
Yeah.
You know,
Scott,
I brought the banner.
these are the ways that you've impacted me in a negative way.
not for me, my friend.
I think
I have coped healthily.
Yeah, I don't have to read any more of the do's and don'ts if you find them a little
Yeah,
little metrosexual.
we can skip that. I'll make that a judgment call. If you're gonna get harassed based on what you say. So.
Okay. The fourth is anger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite stage of this breakup. I just love the anger portion of the breakup because it's so cathartic.
I hate you broke my heart. I hate you breaking my heart
Fuck
is what
that.
anger.
No, man. I'll tell you what. Is that what it is? It's anger for me is getting it out. It's physically manifesting what is hurting inside and getting it out. Yelling, kicking, screaming, throwing beer bottles into the desert, shooting things, breaking things with a baseball
Do you ever
bat.
rip up all the pictures?
No.
You've never done that. So you've never taken the breakup and ripped up all the pictures of the chick's
Man, it's
face.
2017. I don't have a lot of pictures in print.
Do you ever delete them off your phone?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done like gone on social media and done something crazy?
No, dude, that's a lot. Not to say that I haven't, I won't. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's like
What part of the stages do you think anger plays? Because I
every
have a
aspect.
suspicion that anger at
Anger
some
plays
point is
through
a
everything.
very important part. Even people who are, she or he did what they had to do. I understand. At some point, you just get pissed. Fuck you.
Anger plays through
I'm done with your
everything.
shit.
anger plays through everything. And you have to be cognizant of that too. You have to be able to sit back and say, if I want to properly heal, let me get everything out. And if I'm going to get everything out, I got to be angry. I'm not going to be sweet about this. Like, what makes you mad? Because you hold back. When you're trying to save a relationship, you hold back from saving or saying what you want to say, hoping you don't have to say it so you can save it.
So when you get to the anger point, is there any chance that they could be back in your life after anger?
You know, I will never say never, but if once you get past the anger portion, you are hard pressed. It's how you deal with the anger that it is what dictates that.
Because stage 5 is bargaining.
Oh, yeah.
What it will take to get them back. So I just ripped up all the pictures. I just ripped up all the letters. I told her I said what a horror she was. Yeah, I mixed all that mixtape.
All that Kenny Loggins is gone.
I toilet papered your house. I didn't even care. Now it's dang. What do I need to do to get them back?
Let's be honest, and to our listeners,
bargaining. So the 5th stage is bargaining.
Let's be honest, and I'm going to be straight up with you. If you get to the bargaining stage of your relationship breakup, trying to figure it out, they're not coming back. They're not. They were coming back within the first 2 stages. They were coming back. You get to stage 5, you are now at stage 5.
And for those of you who don't know, stage 5 clinger.
It's a Wedding Crashers reference, but it is the truth. Through and through it all, if you don't reconcile a relationship through the first 2 stages of the breakup, you're not getting back together. You have to accept that and walk through. So you get to stage 5, you are a stage 5. Deal with it and move on. Burn your shit. Do what you have to do. Get it gone.
Well, and there's 2 parts of this. So the bargaining could be trying to get them back. The other side could be, what do I need to do to absolve the guilt that I have for causing the person to break up with me?
And looking at the latter is probably the better way to look at it. Trying to figure out if I can get them back when you're in stage 5 is you're just lying to yourself now.
Is there anywhere in your mind or soul that would judge or look at a person who would be willing to sacrifice things that were important to them while they're in the relationship, but they're willing to sacrifice them now to get back into the relationship?
Maybe everybody in this room can speak their mind to this, but I've never been one to hold back my personal opinion on relationships when they're not mine. And
so you would judge.
I'm not saying I'll judge, I just say my piece. If making you happy is going back to what made you sad, fuck it, man, do it. I got my own shit going on. If this is what's going to make you happy, carry on, my wayward son. I want you to be happy. If this is what you think is going to do it, get after it.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've always been the type of person that when I'm done with someone,
I'm done.
There is no going back.
Yeah.
There is no trying to renegotiate. There's no trying to get with that person again. There is none of that. I'm done.
That being said, though, when things inevitably go south again, because let's be honest, they most likely will.
Yeah.
Do not come back to me bitching about everything again, because I'm going to tell you I told you so. And at least one of the 2 of you can say for a fact that I have done that.
Yeah.
Saying, see?
Yeah.
We're
talking about the 5 stages of grief. We're not talking about the 5 stages of friendships helping us through the grief.
No, but
some friends are much better than others. I'll just put that out there.
They are. And I get that. But I wouldn't be me without saying that, though, either,
Yeah, you're a prick sometimes. I gotta put that out there, man. You're tough. Dude, you brought that shit on yourself. I love her. You brought it on yourself, man.
Tough love.
It's tough love.
Tough love.
It's
there
tough
we go.
love.
I like that.
Okay. I don't do this for me, baby. I'm telling you.
Maybe another podcast needs to be like married with this one about what is my responsibility as your friend to help you through the 7 stages.
Why don't you just tell me what you want me to say to make you feel better about what you did?
Let's just skip all the way to the anger one and just go break some shit.
Right, yeah. So after bargaining, trying to figure out, do I want them back? What could I do differently? The 6th stage is depression.
Oh, yeah.
I will never get over them.
Oh,
I will never get over them.
That's probably the worst one.
Yeah.
That how am I going to survive now? How do I live without you?
So many Leanne Rhyme songs. So many Mariah Carey songs and Journey songs mixed into one.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad mixtape. What's going to happen here? This
is one I think that every single person who goes through a breakup deals with.
Step 2 and step 6 are very similar. They're very similar.
Okay.
Because you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to, it's you're not getting over it. It's not over. I can't do this without you.
I don't know. Step two to me is, I can't believe this is happening.
How is that different from step 6?
Step 6 is, now that I know that it's not it's over. No one's gonna want me. No one's gonna need me. before you're like saying, well, wait a minute, there's still a chance. So, I mean, come on, this can't be happening to me, you know? And then
Richard, what's happening?
once you get through all the steps of anger and maybe I can get them back, the realization that they're gone, now the depression sits in like, oh, dude, I'm a loser. I am a friggin' loser, and I'm not getting someone
The problem
back.
with step 6 is it easily slides back into step 5. Depression leads to anger. Anger leads to depression. Depression leads to the dark side. It's a vicious circle.
See, now I think this would be more along lines with isolation because you start thinking about all these things.
Oh, yeah.
The anger gives you the strength,
Right.
you know, gives you the strength to get back out. Fuck, I'm going to do something bad. Then the bargaining is, okay, what can I do? Let's rationalize, let's calm down. Then it's the realization of it's over.
Yeah.
It is absolutely over. And that realization can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
You know, because now we're talking the depression's real. You know,
Absolutely.
before it was I'm isolating myself. I might be playing video games. I might be drinking a little bit more.
I'm just gonna watch football.
I'm just, you know, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But now you're in a realization that it's over.
Yeah. You know, at this point, the one thing I can stress to anybody going through this breakup or a breakup is shower every day and put pants on. I don't care if they're sweatpants. Shower every day and put on pants. That way you're at least moving forward.
You know what, Scott? For the first time, the do is surround yourself with positive people and lots of sunshine.
What the fuck is that? Like, I swear to shit. Like,
Hey, it's kind of the same with you.
is it?
Put one pair.
Is it? It's not all. It's not all sunshines and daisies.
Put your big boy pants on and move.
Put some
forward.
pants on. Go to the store. I don't care if you're buying Cocoa Puffs and Coors Light.
This one to me is the scariest one, though, because this is when the depression sets in and it affects more than just your mood. This is affecting, why do I even need to keep going? Why do I need to even try to get in relationships? Obviously, someone didn't want me, so I obviously don't have
I'll never be
anything to go.
whole again. I'll never be able to love anybody the way I love that person. Yada yada yada. No, I get that.
I mean, so this is the one that if we're being serious, and I know we've joked around a lot tonight, but if we're being serious, this is one where I think everyone who goes through a breakup needs to be very cognizant of. Because it's very simple and it's very easy to get into that mindset of, what do I have to offer? I can't be with anyone. Obviously, I'm the reason why they're not with me.
At that point, you have to find your own worth again. You honest to God have to find your own worth, and that's the big step of stage 6 is finding you again. You have to find that silver lining. You have to find the light at the end of the tunnel to get back after the world, and you being you.
This is the part too where this is where I could see a lot of the binge drinking. Like I'm gonna get so
Really?
wasted.
Not till step 6?
Yeah.
Because you missed like 5 steps of binge drinking.
No, because the
I feel like that just gets stronger.
Yeah,
as
it
you go
progressively
through
gets
steps.
worse.
I think
Like-
this is when the binge drinking gets really scary.
Like you're close to AA at this point. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying.
right. That's right. So the 7th stage is the acceptance.
Acceptance.
Yep, the acceptance of, I understand why I was with the person, why I'm not now, and that I will be better than just okay. I'm gonna be better than just okay.
You're gonna be fine. And the best part about the acceptance stage is like you meet that person. Like, you know what? I'm all right. This I don't know where it's going, but this one makes me feel not like I feel right now, and I'm okay with that. Whether it's just a simple casual date or however long it goes, it's that first step back out of the world saying, you know what, I can survive.
And
At first I was afraid. I was petrified. I'm not going to quote Gloria Gaynor anymore.
This is the hard one for me, though, because the acceptance is on a couple different levels. Acceptance to say, we're done, we're over, I'm through with it, I'm ready to move forward, is a lot different than I accept that the relationship is over, but now every single person I go out with after this is going to be a comparison to that person. Which can happen.
It can happen for
because
a while.
especially as some of these people go through a very long relationship, very long, 5, 10, 20 years, and then they accept that the relationship is over, divorce or whatever,
they say
and then
it goes back to a previous episode where it takes about 2 months for every year you were together to get over something, to get past it. So you have to take your time, knowing that when you first start dating again, you're gonna find yourself probably comparing the person you're hanging out with or dating to your ex, and you have to be able to differentiate, saying, I have to get past that. Like, this is not right. That's not fair to the new person. And if you can't do that, you're not ready to date yet.
Well, I could see you dating. My problem is am I going to be comparing every single girl with the person that, you know what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
Like, does that mean that
if you're gonna compare yourself to her to them, that's fine. But know that as long as you're doing that, you're never going to be in a successful relationship moving forward, because you have to get past that comparison. You have to find a new level of what it is you want.
So how often do you think you go through these 6 or these 7 stages?
I think every time.
Like, do you think it's you go through the 7 and you're done, or do you think you go through the 7, then you come back to 4, then you drink and do 6, and then you get angry and just beat the shit out of someone?
You don't get to bounce around. You don't get to bounce around. I think honestly, on some level, if you go out with someone a couple times, you go through those stages. Even if it's ever just brief, like, oh, that sucks. I can't believe that happened. I liked her. Oh, well, that's too bad. Can I get her back? I don't know. Oh, man, this sucks. That's really bad. Well, hey, look, a new one. I'll go see what this one's all about. You work your way through all these relationship stages, whether it be on a slow pace or a fast pace. It's just the way life goes.
Okay. So, since we're a personal podcast,
oh shit,
are you saying that you're done with these 7 stages?
No, I've been done.
You've been done.
Yeah.
Yet you said earlier you need to talk to a counselor after 2 years because you're still struggling with it.
Some aspects.
So, is it possible that maybe you've gone through it, maybe skipped over a part that you thought was done, but that wasn't done and came back? And that's why I'm wondering if it's just that if you skip over a part, does that mean that if you get, it's kind of like the AA, I'm like, if you skip step 9,
you have to go back.
Yeah, you got to apologize. If you have to skip step 9, is this kind of the same thing? Like if someone is out there, if someone out there is struggling with a relationship that broke up and it's been a year, 2 years, and they're still struggling with it, would you recommend them go through these 7 steps again? These 7 things again?
Let me first and foremost just stress that I'm not struggling with anything about my breakup.
Okay.
When I said maybe I should see a counselor prior, I had to come to the realization that there are certain questions I will never, ever be able to get answered. And it's not because I can't ask them. It's because I know I would never get a straight answer. I would never get a proper answer, and I've had to come to terms with that. And
because you didn't get that from the person, there's always like, what's happening here? I don't understand.
That creates gaps in future relationships, and that's where that comes from.
Sure.
I have no hangups whatsoever anymore. It's just that having to find the answers and the non-answers, understanding that it wasn't me that had issues, it was them. Understanding that I spoke my truths and they looked at me and they couldn't do it, or they created their own truths but couldn't say them. That's what I've had to deal with.
And I have to think, Scott, that there are so many people who go through the 7 stages, and there's a lot of people that do not take ownership of their part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy for us to say, well, they're the problem. They're the ones that broke up with us. We didn't do anything wrong. But a lot of people, when they're going through that analysis, I'm sure they don't say, I could have done something different. You know what I mean? Like,
you can always armchair quarterback.
Yeah,
you can always armchair quarterback and think, I wish I could have done this differently. I wish I could have handled that better.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, what's done is done. And you have to make peace with that. You can't go back and change that.
I think that's the biggest part that I hope that people get out of this podcast is hopefully this gives you an identity of those 7 stages and things to at least think about, that if you're stuck on a stage where you can't let go and you can't move forward, that it's okay. We
all go through it. We honestly, we all go through it at some point in stage in our life.
Every person has gone through a breakup. I don't care who you are. Every person has gone through a breakup. I even ask these people who've been married 50, 60 years, they got married in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gone through a breakup? Yeah, that's why I grabbed this girl, because she was the perfect one who didn't break up with me, so I knew I locked her into a long-term contract. I mean, they do that.
That's exactly what it is. And I think breakups are a test of character. What you do after you break up with that person, and I have not made the smartest choices after a lot of breakups, And it's not making those smartest choices. And you guys have seen these, and you can say the same thing. You've done that because I've seen what you've done, and I've seen what you've done. We've all done.
Dude, yeah. I did a lot of anger. I stayed a lot of time in my anger and the binge drinking. That I did a lot of that during my breakups.
Still do.
So I'm not too worried about trying to be. Well, I know more than someone else does, because believe me, I don't.
I guess the moral of the story is we all handle it differently. And you might think that you don't go through the 7 stages, but we all go through them at some point in stage and the other. And sometimes you're right, you have to go back and repeat step 2 to move forward and finish step 7. But that's what happens.
Or maybe you skip over step 3 or step 5 or whatever because maybe it's too painful.
There is no
when some people get depressed, they don't want to deal with the reality of where they're at. They just I'll do anything that's happy. What does that mean? I'll buy a new car. I'll just take care of it so I'm not depressed.
There is no guideline of how you have to handle these things. We all do things differently.
Yeah.
We all do things in our own time.
Yep.
And you all have to find those things on your own. And we all act out on our own to be able to get back out there to prove to everybody, and most importantly, to prove to ourselves that we can survive.
We are all about love on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Liquid Kernedge is about love. Liquid Kernedge is about trying to help us through these tough choices that happen with the relationships. We hope that no one's going through a bad breakup right now, but if you are, we hope you find some great solace that, there is plenty of ways to handle the 7 stages. We're excited about the future. And we know for anyone who's listening out there, there is someone else out there for you.
Yep.
There is someone else out there.
I'm going to quote a very wise man sitting across me in this podcast right now that says there are 7.5 billion people on this planet. If you don't want me, I think I can find someone that does.
Yeah. I think I will find someone else.
Yeah. So find us on Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, at Liquid Kernedge. We're there. Leave us a comment. Tell us we're idiots. Tell us you love us. We just want to hear from you. As always, thank you for listening. I'm Scott.
I'm Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.